Are we getting sponsored by Coke Zero today?
Holidays are coming. Holidays are coming.
Product placement.
So, right, let's get into it, shall we? Hello and welcome to the Construction Sport Podcast.
Hi!
They're thinking, oh shit. It's Clare Friel, isn't it?
Yeah, or Yelland. I'm still transitioning. I don't know who I am.
Transitioning, here we go.
I was when I got married a couple of years ago, I said to Leon, like, getting married at 38. I was like, I've had a really good run, and Clare Friel's done a lot of stuff that I'd rather leave in the past. I'm done, I'm changing it. And now it's kind of getting to changing it. I'm like, I actually quite like her.
So we have Clare Friel here. We also have Claire Yelland here.
Tonight, Matthew.
What should I put as the title? Claire Yelland or Clare Friel?
Friel.
Clare Friel from
Friel Steels.
Friel Steels. Friel Steels. Is Friel marketing or is it just Friel?
Just Friel.
Just Friel,
Friel, yeah. And then Construction Anglia.
Yes.
Now Women in Construction Anglia. And then it's all sponsored by ADHD.
And Ipswich Cycling Club.
Ipswich Cycling Club. Soon cycling networking, cycling paddle.
Like lady.
Oh, yeah. God, what was it? Cleats and construction.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. We'll get from the start then. Before we get into all that, where did the world of Clare and construction come together?
Probably over a decade ago, I worked in recruitment. I didn't particularly like the recruitment side of things. Trades and labour, construction. Enjoyed speaking to people, but not going to lie, no one wants to speak to a recruiter. I always say, like, there's estate agents, recruiters, car sales, and we're in that bracket. So it was quite good grounding, rejection on the daily. But I built really good relationships and knew what to stay in the industry, but did not want to be a recruiter. So then I went and worked for a groundworks contractor doing their BD.
Cool.
I was so good at it that they went under within 18 months. And that's when I started my own stuff.
You learn to fail first and you learn.
Yeah, but I tell you what.
They all went under, you cracked on. I've learned loads.
But recruitment is a good grounding, like learning about the trades, going on site. When I was let down, worked on site a few times as labourer, because when you ring up in the morning, we need someone, I'm on my way. Yeah. So packing out ceilings and stuff, it was great. So yeah, loved it, and that's when I fell in love with the industry.
Hands dirty. Mm-hmm. Is that all in the East Anglia side?
Yeah, mostly East Anglia. London worked in before.
Yep.
My granddad, family are all Irish. He was a ground worker. So maybe it was in the blood somewhere along the line.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. You find it. I had a failed sales career, I've said it a few times, in car sales.
So you were on...
I'll write down there. And I knew it and I felt it every day. Clean shaven every day, suit on. Just so Peggy can buy the Vauxhall Corsa. Yeah. Just like, I don't need to look like this, do I? Yeah. I've done 10 months, I think. Yeah. I knew it wasn't the job for me when someone noticed that I fell asleep in the test drive because it was Sunday morning. Wow. And it'd been a bit of a lively Saturday night.
I love that.
And then another Sunday morning, someone went, "Oh, you had a drink last night?" I thought maybe this Sunday morning work in this environment isn't
not
for me.
You. No.
So yeah, I did that, and then, but yeah, like you learned a lot, don't you?
Rejection.
100%. Because I walked away from there like it was hell. I was so bad at it. I was advising people not to buy a car because I didn't think they needed a new one.
Oh my God, that was like me in recruitment. I'd be like, I've got someone, but they're not actually that good. Why don't you ring our competitor? And my boss would be like, what are you doing? Yeah. But then it comes around in the end because like all the contacts for recruitment became BD contacts.
You don't realise how much you need, how much you was learning then.
Yeah, and then if I'd have been a ruthless twat, they'd never wanted to have spoken to me and supported me in what I've done since. So everything happens for a reason. And
saying that, funny enough, I'm just about to get my stickers done on our van, Chapter 8 stuff, by the same guy who done the cars 10 years ago. Wow. So I've kept in touch with him since. Yeah. And then a very good salesman there as well who I know. He's now he's doing business development for a construction company. In the next couple of weeks, all roofing and insulation or something like that. Yeah. And he's rung me yesterday. I spoke to him in months. And he rang me yesterday. I was like, Steve, he said, I'm getting the construction. What's the crack? I was like, you need to come in here, get the podcast first. And we'll teach you.
And then you'll have him day one. And then 6 months later, see how much he's aged.
So it just shows that don't burn the bridges.
And I think that's the thing. Like, I learned so much in recruitment. I had some amazing bosses. Yeah. But the one thing I've learned in my career is, like, unless you really have to, try not to fall out with people.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we've fell out with many.
You sure?
I say that. There's probably the likes online. Ding, 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 ding.
Please comment below.
No, there's definitely a couple. I'll say I haven't fed out. There's people I don't like. I don't want to like them either.
Yeah, it's if you're like, I will always respect someone even if I don't like them, if they're good at their job and their values and what they're doing is for the right reason, you can agree to disagree. If someone's sneaky, lying, I'm out.
Yeah.
And you can sense it. And I just can't not call it out. And people come to me to call stuff out. And sometimes I've got to take a step back and think, actually, that's not my place to do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah, there's two off the top of my head I could say. Maybe one day after a few beers on the podcast.
So if you get the tequila out, we'll go through that shortly.
Yeah, there's two that I've always put down in my little book, should we say. They're firmly placed in that head of mine.
I call it the shit list.
The shit list. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it's interesting. But then there's a lot of people I clashed with on site who I'm really good mates with now. And I think you get pally with those people because you end up standing up for something you think's right in it, and you think no one likes a yes man.
But that's why I like construction as well. Like working in, especially one of the jobs I had in London, it was very corporate. You had to do 2 hours sales on the phone every day. Like for me, that's not. I'd just sit up, ring my mum, put it on the side because people don't want to speak to you. But when I'm like on site, like some of the people that I've met wouldn't understand what I did. But once I proved that I wasn't a dolly bird and I knew my shit, they are fiercely loyal. Like my work dads, my work brothers. And it's just that understanding and agreeing to disagree. Like me and you could have an argument and we'll crack on the next day, fine. Yeah. Whereas office side of things, sales side of things, can be so toxic. You'll have people be trying to do stuff behind your back. Not saying it doesn't happen in the construction industry, but it's that raw honesty.
Definitely. I found that when I first went into kind of the office, into the office on a project, and then started dealing with emails, and then an email would come across, and I'd be like, why is he acting like that on an email? Yeah,
when you've just had a chat agreeing it outside.
Yeah, so I just drive around to the office or wherever they are and go, what's this about? It says, I haven't answered the email yet, but I thought I'd just front up first, and then they don't know what to say then. Yeah, funny. That's
or when they copy the world and his wife in, you're like, you had a conversation, or you send something, then like the whole of the business, and you're like, right, there's an ulterior motive here. Yeah. What's the crack?
That is why, as many people may know, that I don't have an email address. Steve.
I always try and find it when I'm doing instructions. I'm like, we're going to call you Info from now on.
Yeah, my name is Info. Katie picks them up, and Leanne as well, the girls in the background who help us. But I'm just like, I just don't want to be caught up in that world. Like, I'll jump on it every now and then and do one or two if I need to. But I'm like, if you want me to ring me, yeah. And I'm like, I'm not going to in. I'm going down the neurodiverse route now.
Yeah.
With
Neurospicy.
Yeah. Yeah, Danny pulled all that information out on that. Like, I'm going to use that. Yeah. Getting off the emails.
I say to people, like, if you need me, ring me. Like, I would rather have a conversation with someone. And then if you want to follow it up with an email to cover off and say, as discussed, that's fine. But I am so much quicker. And even on WhatsApp, if you get outside of the screen of the top messages, probably won't get a reply from me. So bump yourself back to the top.
Saying that on WhatsApp, there was something this morning popped up. A demolition job had gone ahead. And it was like contractually just confirmed on a WhatsApp message.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
That counts now, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it wasn't an email. I think something's happened, and someone tried to pull say, you should have done this, and then they've said they've taken this WhatsApp message
they signed it
to the court, isn't it? And they've gone, no, that is deemed as a right to proceed sort of thing.
Yeah.
It just shows, isn't it? It's in writing.
So turn your delete messages on.
Yeah, all time, every day, just delete them. Yeah. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, there's a few people I know who do that now, and it makes sense why they do it.
Yeah.
So from recruitment then, that was your first step into construction?
Yeah, before that I was in TV, which was just completely random.
Was you?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
So
Hollywood?
Yeah, Hollywood, blockbusters. No, I left school. I had my daughter when I was at school, and I didn't want to be Vicky Pollard. You know, that stereotype of like not doing anything. Pink tracksuit, cap tracksuit. Yeah. So I'd always wanted to work in production TV. So I went up to London, worked on The Apprentice, Celebrity Big Brother, stuff like that. But after 18 months, 2 years, I was too far. Yeah. Trying to prove a point.
Interesting world, that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything. It was such.
Who'd you meet then? Who'd you meet? Who's the stars?
I don't know. Bez from the Happy Mondays. He was wicked.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, because on Celebrity Big Brother, I looked after friends and family when they were in the house.
Yeah.
And yeah, his lot was sound. Again, real people. Yeah. So when he come out,
that is as real as it comes.
Yeah, when he come out, I think Kenzie won or did he win? I can't remember. But because I've been nice to him, he was like, his friends told him they're like, you can have a car and you can have the after party, but don't invite anyone else. Yeah. The people that you bring are the people that are sound.
He does it on Gogglebox now, doesn't he? Celebrity Gogglebox.
Yeah. So we ended up at this pub in Hoxton, and I was like, did he actually like me, or is he mugging me off? Because there was no lights on, and then you could hear the music went in. So that was pretty cool. You had loads of wicked experiences.
Yeah, that is cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that would be a job again, doesn't it, really? All those kind of people. I suppose in the marketing world you're in now.
Yeah, it's random because I'm a job hopper. Like, if something isn't right, like I worked at the job centre, if someone's years unemployed, I'd then mentor them.
What was that like?
Frustrating. Sometimes, like you meet people that need to be helped and they're engaged and it's great. But then there's other people who are like, these foreigners come to our country and you're like, do you want to go and do this job? Well, no, I'm not doing that. Shut up. Do you know what I mean? Like it's the perception, prejudice, stuff like that. And then ended up in the recruitment world. And I just think the key thing is helping people and building people up, motivating them. That's what I enjoy as well.
And then, when did you first get to start on your own then?
It'd be 8 years ago.
Did you?
Yeah. So
never look back?
Sometimes.
Regret it every 10 minutes, but never look back?
every night when I'm rocking in a corner. No, do you know what I love the most about it? Is being able to stick to my values.
Yeah.
Because in the corporate world, regardless of what your opinion is, sometimes you have to toe the line and be like...
You must see that. I see it a lot, do you, when you speak to people with regards to a matter in construction, and you go, I know you agree with me, but you can't say that you agree with me.
And also, like, certain people where behaviours are just accepted, right? Whereas I can be like, I think you're a bit of bellend. And no, well, I could probably lose a few contracts, but no one's going to fire me.
Yeah.
And that's what I've enjoyed the most. It's liberating.
But then you end up getting you think everyone's going to fire you or not work with you, but then you actually get more people going, we like this person because they're honest.
Or something happens and then my phone blows up, will you say something? And then sometimes I have to say no, because that's the problem. When you're kind of very vocal, it's fine saying stuff, but when you've got 20 people behind you egging you on, but when you do say it and you turn around and they're all gone.
Yeah, it's Katie.
It's the solicitors. And then those people are nowhere to be seen. So it is that thing of kind of growing, like learning as you go.
Yeah, 100%.
Learning the battles to fight, learning what to leave. Sometimes knowing that the truth will come out in the end, so you just have to sit back.
Some of those battles go on, don't they, online?
Oh, yeah.
I was reading through one yesterday, actually, it had gone off. It was, what was it about? No, it was actually a Facebook one about the local... St. George's Day. Someone brought up St. George's Day on the local page, and then suddenly it was the anti-St. George's versus the real St. George's. And I was just like, there's no winning in this.
And St. Patrick then gets brought into it, and you're like, he got rid of the snakes from Ireland. Why is he involved in this situation?
Yeah. And I'm like, no one in this message list is educated enough to argue any of this. Yeah. Just no one's going to win.
No, social media is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes that's the biggest thing. With what we do, I'm on socials all the time, and I always meet people because I post a lot on LinkedIn. Yep. I'm very aware that if you don't know me, you might think she's a bit of a bellend. And it's quite annoying sometimes, but it's part and parcel of the job and visibility. Yeah. Not necessary for me. Like, I will always put other people forward before myself, but you'd never know who you sharing. Yeah. Like, you've got mental health struggles or she isn't always great, who that's going to help or who's watching. They might not even engage.
Yeah. So we've had it a few times in the past, even the thing we do. And then people would comment back on LinkedIn and be like, well, what the hell do you know? Like to me and to other people, I'm like, just because I don't share everything that I've ever gone through, I've done it publicly to everyone else like you guys do all the time, doesn't mean, like, whatever situation, who are you to,
Well, I've been asked what qualifications I've had. I've got, and then I've 2 pregnancy tests and a driving test. What else do you want to know? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I've got a C in PE.
There you go.
If that counts.
Drama. But that's the thing. It's like you can learn so much. Like, the way I like to learn is through like lived experience.
Yeah.
So for me, that's worth more, and that's how, even on the bike ride, I knew, like, when that guy was trying to teach me how to ride a bike, I knew it wasn't going in.
Yeah.
But once I got on the road, it clearly didn't go in when I forgot to unclip. But learning through making mistakes.
Yeah. And you're back on your feet again.
Yeah.
You're pedaling again.
Pedaling.
On that, the bike ride. So you signed up, and I didn't know you at the time, did I? And you just popped up. And then I spoke to you on the phone, and within 2 or 3 minutes, you went, I don't know what I'm fucking doing. And there was 25 fucks. And,
me? I don't swear.
And I was like, she's going to fit right in. She's going to fit right in. So the boys like, we got a lady on board. She's kind of represent, and she knows what she's talking about. So, how have you found it?
Oh, it was honestly incredible. Yeah. Like, I think I underestimate what I sign up for. Or what other people thought I'd signed up for. I had these exactly what, but I thought I knew it was going to be hard.
Yeah.
But I felt more rested having done it than I did, like, the headspace. And that's the thing, like, with what you guys do, everyone, like, the helplines have their place. Everything has its place, and everyone has different wants and needs on how to defragment their brain and whatever. But that was exactly what I needed. I felt more rested from that than any holiday I've been on since I've had my own business.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't it?
Yeah. Like my daughter probably looked like she'd done 300 miles from being sat in the support van more than me. That's what the guy said that met us at Stowmarket. They're like, Nia. I was like, yes, this is great, buzzing.
She's
like I'm more tired now from like a week at work than I was from that. But it was the most incredible experience, the most incredible people. Just having time, people not contacting me or not being able to pick up the phone.
So I didn't have a quad lock on mine on the bike, so my phone was always in the back. And I remember from doing it 2 years ago that I wanted a quad lock thing on the front of the bike. But then I remember thinking, I've actually had my phone out my hand and out my sight for like 3 or 4 hours at a time. It's amazing.
I couldn't see my phone, but I wouldn't have even grabbed it if I could have done, because I couldn't even get the water bottle out without being scared.
Hold on for dear life.
Yeah, so I ended up like just drinking when we got to like a junction, but I would definitely have not been able to do that.
Yeah. That shows it, and now you're a full-time cyclist.
I've got a bike.
Bought a bike?
I bought a bike. I've joined a cycling club. I'm actually looking at a holiday in Mallorca to cycle in September.
Oh, yeah, as well?
Yeah.
There's loads of hills there.
Oh, yeah, but I've been on TikTok. Basically, via TikTok, I'm now a professional cyclist. I keep winding my husband up. I'm like, we can't have that for dinner. I'm an athlete. And he's
Claire the cyclist on TikTok.
Like,
have you got a cycling channel?
Not yet.
It's coming, isn't it?
It's coming, yeah.
Claire's cycling journeys.
All the gear and no idea. Part 1.
That was cool. What was you picked your bike up on the day, didn't you, as well? So even that's a ballsy move.
Yeah, the night before.
The night before. So
and then I didn't even know what cleats were, like, until my friend, who is a keen cyclist, he was like, have you sorted your cleats out? And I was like, what? Like, and I didn't know if he was winding me up, and then I Googled it, and then that's when my panicked message.
I got the message through Sunday morning.
Cleats.
6 hours before pickup.
99 problems and cleats ain't one. And then I got there, and there's and then I went around the car park. Like I went on one bike ride during lockdown, and probably since school hadn't.
Just done a bit of spinning, and that was it.
Yeah, a bit of spin. Yeah. But and that's what it felt like. It felt like being young again.
Yeah.
Like being out with your mates.
Yeah.
During the school holidays.
Cycling to the sun.
We didn't call on anyone, or we'd have got arrested. But it's that thing of just being free. That was it. Being free.
Yeah. And that's what I thought. Day 2 for me was horrifically painful. My ass was done.
Yeah.
Then day 3 and 4, new shorts on, smooth sponge, and then I was just a new man. Yeah. I was back in the game.
Yeah. I didn't weirdly. Might be concerned. I didn't have any. Like my bum didn't hurt. I don't know if it's because I haven't got one, but it's like it just didn't. Like that's like my biggest pain.
Natural.
Yeah, my biggest pain was my lip, which is still not quite healed, which is why I bailed in the other week because I got sunburn or something, and then it just wouldn't go.
I looked at state of my face last week on the podcast. It was come out
last week.
Yeah, so we were in general. The podcast done last week with Kev, I've got glasses on, my eyes just like, man, but we thought, got to get the episode
because you messaged saying you've got pink eye, and then I was like, I might fess up about my lip now, and then you were like, let's cancel. I was like, wicked.
It's postponed. And I was like, we've got nothing for this week. I was like, shut up to do it. No worries. And then my eye was just like, and I was tired. You know when people talking.
What is it from the Goonies? What's that guy? Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys.
That's what you look like.
I know exactly what you mean. But yeah. I had the same thing after the HS2 walk a couple of years ago. Just the body afterwards just literally just shuts down. And
I didn't have that. I was literally buzzing. I think I got 20,000 steps in the day after. I did try and get on my spin bike at home, and my knee. I was like,
I was physically fine after, but mentally I was done. I couldn't,
really?
Talking to people and all that, just like conversate, like trying to take it in. And if I'm struggling with this, like just mentally drained. Yeah, I get it all the time.
I suppose because you're there with 2 hats on, you're a participant, coordinator, or more hats on. Yeah. That's probably more stressful. Whereas I think part of it was not having to worry about anything. Get up, breakfast is sorted, lunch is sorted, dinner's sorted, someone tells you where to go. I didn't have to think. Whereas you'll know running a business and stuff like that. Yeah. Everything's
moving and moving. It's brilliant though, but there is talk already of 2026 as well with that.
Sign me up.
There's talk of London to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
There's talks of London to Manchester / Peterborough.
Vegas.
It's very flat out there.
Death Valley.
Yeah.
End up in Vegas.
Justify that one.
Yeah.
We write to the Charity Commission.
Yeah, fine.
Well, it can be done, can't it? Everyone's got to raise £10,000 of start, and then we go.
Race around the world.
All on black.
On bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be good. And I think because you do stuff with purpose as well, like we're doing the Women in Construction Awards.
Big thank you for that. No, has it been announced yet? Is it out there?
No, it's scheduled for next week, but it's out there. It is now.
Will it be out?
Exclusive.
Will this will go out next Wednesday?
Yeah, perfect. I'll do a post Monday, but yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's like having a conversation with you, saying like, how can we actually show what you guys do? So doing the bike ride from...
Yeah, so that's it. So let's go back to it. So we got, what awards is it called? It's called the official name.
ITB Top 100 Most Influential Women in Construction Awards 2025.
Got a t-shirt, please.
Yeah. No, but I have to do an acronym.
So there's that awards. We celebrate them. And we have been chosen as the charity for the event.
Yeah.
A huge thank you to yourself and to Danny and all the CITB team. Yeah, it kind of puts us in the light that we've not been in before. So that's amazing. But like I said to you on the bike ride, she said, so let's not just turn up and be the charity, let's do something to be proactive.
Yeah, although I've told you I'm banned from doing it.
Oh, you actually been banned from doing it as well?
Yeah. Because my team was like, so you think you're just going to bowl up on a bike on the day of the awards that we're organising?
You can take the last mile. No, you've got a bike, can't you?
Oh, no, I can't do that glory hunter thing. That's what I said to you when I was panicking before the Hinkley to Sizewell. I was like, if I just message him and say, like, I'll tag on at Cambridge, I thought, what an actual glory hunter. Like, look at me on the finish line.
There was a couple of people who said they're going to meet us at Cambridge Cycle. They didn't in the end, so I reckon they all clocked on and maybe I'll
that would be proper muggy.
There was a guy who ran around the world, didn't they? Did you see that one? Oh, not Africa. What was his name? Russ Cook, highest geezer. He ran from southern tip to northern tip of Africa. And loads of people met him for the last mile. And it was really welcoming. And then some prick ran past him right at the end at the finish line and was like, got over the finish line before him. And just like, what a dick.
What a bellend.
He just spent 350 days running 2 marathons a day consecutively across Africa.
Wow.
Beat that guy.
Oh my God, don't be that prick. I was because obviously the algorithm on TikTok's been serving me as a professional cyclist now. all of like cycling content. And there's this father and son from Norfolk.
You're the new Jeff Vincent. You are the new Jeff Vincent. He's a recruiter.
My name is Jeff. So this father and son are cycling from Norfolk they're going all around the world. It's really sweet.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's another useless piece of information from me. But
Claire and a daughter going.
Oh, it sounds like Nia's going to disown me soon.
She'll be a support driver.
Yeah,
Mum's
she will.
Around the world.
I think that was more traumatic, sat in a van being like cooped up with dirty socks.
Superb. So we are looking at an event before the women. So we're discussing, aren't we? Some form of cycle. We can put that to pen to paper next week and make sure we get a crown. But that'd be cool. There'd be quite a few people involved with that, wouldn't there? I'd imagine.
I reckon so. Yeah.
And the awards is open for guys and girls to come along.
Yeah, it's not. And this is the thing, like. So, this women in construction situation, like, no, it's not a situation.
Come on,
situation.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it, please. Cut me out of this bit, Al.
Right, okay, cut. Here's me getting cancelled.
Here's Claire's own podcast.
Here's me getting cancelled. So, I've always been, like, segregation for inclusion, right? Doesn't make sense. So, why are we having separate rooms to achieve the same thing?
Yeah.
Right? So, the rooms are open. But anything that I'm involved with, obviously people need safe spaces for stuff, completely accept that. But the women in construction is open to everyone and we need allies, right? The reason I do Women in Construction Anglia is to attract young people into the industry and have visible role models, right? So that's why I'm engaging with the schools. Now the girls at the colleges are going into high schools to promote the message because it is that it's not necessarily promoted as a career. So you can't blame the industry for not having enough females when it's not, when they don't know about it.
Yeah.
So it's raising awareness. But equally, I've had more shit from women in my career than men. So it's that fine line. So at one of my events recently, one of the girls from the college was on a table, someone was man bashing, and I said to her, my motto is values over vaginas, right? Just because a woman's a woman doesn't mean we allow bad behaviour. Equally, just because a man's a man, we don't assume that he's an arsehole. So I think the narrative around stuff, and ultimately I don't want to do the women in construction stuff. Hopefully there'll be a time where it doesn't need to be done because the industry,
everyone in construction,
because it's just a given. But until that time, that is why stuff like this is necessary to shine a light on what people are doing. But it's not to take it away from men. Yeah.
So I see it as well. Because someone say, "Well, are you always just doing the women in construction stuff?" It's like when these people say, "I'm like, well, what are you doing?" And they feel like nothing. I'm like, well, why don't you head up something in return to that and do whatever? But it's just there's a lot more people who are keener to push that, and fair play.
But it's also, there's a lot of people out there, and I've noticed it more, who, how do I say this without getting cancelled? So there's a bit of a bandwagon thing, right? I am very aware that I have never worked on the tools, right? So this woman in construction, like brand or whatever you want to call it, or accolade, whatever I've got, I'm not trying to minimise that there is girls on the front line doing this day in and day out, right? They can't come to my lunches. They can't go to these events because when they're not on site, they're not making money. So it's not accessible to them. But they are the people, among with many others, that need to be represented.
Yeah.
And it's about creating a community. So that's what I've done with this. I've watched stuff happen for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I've watched it being ego-driven. I've watched there not being a lot of collaboration. So with what I'm doing, I'm trying to get everyone involved.
Mm-hmm. And
I need a team around me because I'm knackered at the moment. I've got my team for Friel, but I need to build a team around me. We turn it into not-for-profit. But it's just got to work and have outcomes.
Yeah, we've seen it as well. I've been hit with it before about you guys just do men in construction. I'm like, none of our marketing, nothing I actually word says men in construction.
It is in really small font. No, I'm joking.
It might be. Quick check it. No, I'm like, I don't think anything on my LinkedIn ever says about just men. No. I always say construction workers, and I know that, and it's not even intentional. Now looking back, it's and it is. It's I'm a ground worker, and I've never worked alongside a woman on the ground. Simple as. So even if I did just go that way, I'm like, well, I haven't been alongside any women on the ground. You know what I mean?
And it's that thing of also having conversations in safe spaces, because I know there's opinions and people have questions around what you can and can't say and what to do, who'd be too scared to have it in an open environment because they might say the wrong thing. And I think that's also education over intimidation. There's a lot of stuff online. Yeah. And I think a lot of stuff gets called out online, whereas my first port of contact, if I see something I don't agree with, probably scroll by because I can't be asked. But if I feel like it's uneducated, I'll do an inbox message and be like, you might want to rethink this. Then I've said my piece, I can sleep at night. Yeah. But this witch hunt mentality, I had it, and it was really hard. Someone commented on me, it was like an award that I won, and I don't know who it was because it was an anonymous account on LinkedIn, was like about my mum.
Speaks volume straight away, doesn't it?
And then it was shouldn't be proud of yourself, you've left your parents to bring your kids up, or something like that cut proper deep. And I haven't. I've had to balance 1,000 things, but sometimes mum and dad help. But
it's savage,
who wouldn't?
Isn't it? That witch hunt thing,
that hurt me and got to me more than anything positive. There was loads of positive stuff. Yeah. And that's what got to me. Yeah. And it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, the one thing. Yeah. So you can't shake it off, can you?
No,
that witch hunt. So
because you don't know who it is. Because if it was someone you knew, you could be like, oh, they're a twat. I don't really care what they say. Yeah. But when you don't know who it is, it could be you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You're like, you shouldn't have put that comment up, Steve.
Oh, I've had the phone calls before. Yeah. They're like, Steve, do you realise what you just fucking done? I'm like, yeah, let's see what goes. And no, and there's things even about this big meeting we got next week come off the back of a few comments I made a few years ago. Yeah. But it got me to where I am now because it was a whole you get attention by making someone happy, sad, or angry. And I was like, well, I've made you happy and sad a few times, and you've not said nothing. So now I'm going to go for the angry. I'm coming in hard, and then bang, I've got them. And then they're like, and then they said, the way you've done that, they'll talk about off camera, but they said the way you've done it, I just don't agree with. I was like, agree with it or not? I'm now here in the room sitting with you, and that's all I wanted. So am I the spoiled little prick? Yeah, you just got what you wanted.
It. And it's like with the women in construction going into that. So I think the key thing is, a lot of people have these talking shops. They sit down, how are we going to make the industry better? How are we going, not just girls, how are we going to attract more kids? Because when I was at school, it was like, okay, you're not very academic, construction or hair and beauty, depending on whether you're a boy or a girl, right? So actually...
Or Turkish.
There you go. But that's
cancelled.
But that's the thing. So it's changing that mindset. So rather than going, oh, what I think we should do is this and da-da, technology has just gone mental, right? So it's taken over. So actually ask them what they want. Ask them to have young ambassadors to feed in rather than us dictating to them. And that's what's made the difference. Empowering people to just be whatever they want to be.
And you see it now as well. You think if the industry, probably from more CITV, put it on Danny, shall we? But or whoever's funding it at the big top, get behind all these women who are on this Instagram showing their plumbing, their bricklaying, and pump literally funding into supporting them to keep them doing what they're doing because they're hitting massive audiences.
Yeah, and it's because there's a lady I had a meeting with the other day. She's got Young Sparks and she does that for females and males. There's influencer there, and I think that's the marketing thing as well. Going back to the role model, they're doing stuff with Luke Mabbott, ex-Love Island. Okay, yeah. And having someone like that talking, my thing was I'm speaking to a politician pre-last election for a bit of advice, and I was like, be more Love Island, and he was like, oh, I was like, I don't mean take your top off, and go into the villa, go get your teeth done, pull someone for a chat. Yeah. I mean, like what people, What are people looking for? What do people relate to? Like that generation, and it's fun.
They're on their phones. That's exactly why we've got the cameras here. So we do this, everything. It's because we realise that if people want to watch something, not look at newspapers anymore, are they?
No, because it's all adverts. You go to read news stories, one line of news story, and then there's whatever adverts. On there, you can't read anything.
So I think that's sort of all the industry. It's a bit like it's run by a few dinosaurs as such, but they need to realise the power of social media.
Yeah, and I think that's
where it is.
A conversation I've looked when I first started Friel. It wasn't a marketing agency; it was BD, and the people like, can we do our social media? So when I left my old company, or when it didn't cease to exist, I was supposed to go and work for a tier one, and I was like, no, I can have impact with smaller subcontractors as long as there's no conflict of interest. So that's how it started, and then social media was just not kicking off then because it had already been a thing, but LinkedIn probably.
Yeah.
So I'd get a lot of the old boys being like, we don't understand it, but we know we need to be on there.
Yeah.
And what you've got is people like me and you who are roughly the same age who remember both.
You're 21 as well.
17. And you've got, so you've got our generation who've kind of got foot in both camps. You've got the older generation who are used to old school networking, going down the pub. And then you've got the younger people who, some of them post-COVID, haven't got the confidence. It's all on the phone. So you've got to actually reach to every market, and social media is the common denominator. Yeah.
My father-in-law sort of industrial machinery business, and then during COVID, because a lot of companies weren't pushing that much to buying many machines. Clearly, my wife then went in there and started selling all these random little bits and bobs that he's got under like a few grand, the small bits of what people could literally have their own machinery in their garages for. And started putting it on Facebook, and now that they literally all went for Facebook in the end. It's just, and he's got a big market, a big portion of it. It's more my wife works on doing that bit, but just saw this just through Facebook. How you would never think this industrial machinery business can function.
But it's that opportunity, isn't it? Like the opportunity. Like I go into schools not just talk about construction, but it's the opportunity that they have. Like my boy, he's doing his GCSEs next month, and he's not particularly academic. He doesn't enjoy it. School's not for him. So we've been looking. I was like, Stan, start clothing brand.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What?" So we've been working on doing that.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I'll give you some money, startup money, not a lot, but you invest this, and then I'll support you. But I want to feel like Dragon's Den at the dinner table.
You're on a career path of learning, then, aren't you? You know what I mean? Even if it ends up not being a clothing brand, in 3 or 4 years, he's got X amount of marketing and sales experience.
Although he did get fired after 3 days when he came in the office to do work experience with me. I was like, you're not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it. We're done. And then the school ran me to see how he got on. I was like, I got rid of him after 3 days. And they're like, right. Probably thought I was savage, his mum. But I was like, no, but what he learned is he doesn't want to work in an office.
Yeah, he's learned.
So actually he's got more from that than he would have done.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We had a work experience lad last year. I'm not sure if you see it on LinkedIn. We had him. Jasper. It was Jasper, wasn't it? And he come in quiet as a mouse. Really nice kid. And I was like, just to let you know, we've got an event next week. And you're coming on it. It's like 35 degrees outside. It's a marathon in London. And like, he's tiny little lad. And I said, come. And I said to the boys, I said, we might have to jump on the train. I can't expect him to do the whole thing. And he's diabetic as well. So we had to be a bit weary about his heat. But he had the set up on his phone where his mum could track it as well. So he spoke to his mum first. So if he needed, we just kept an eye on him, make sure he's hydrated and got his food in him or whatever.
Did he have gels?
No, we didn't plan on him doing the walk of it. We thought you walk to this point, jump on the train, the boys will meet us halfway, you'll meet us at a few stops, easy to jump around London. And next, he's done the whole bloody run, the whole walk, sorry. So he's done it all. And the boys want to get on the train. They were like, oh, we got on the train.
He's showing you up.
But we couldn't because Jasper couldn't. It's like, if he can't, we got to get on the train.
Yeah, so he's like, no, I want to do it. But the message we got from his mum, like the day after, like, he come home and said he's opened up as a person, like, massively, and how beneficial it was for him as like a 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid or whatever he is, 15, to do that. And I was like, this is what just the walk takes. So that we're helping so many people this.
And it's that, like I worked from when I was 12, highly illegal, but I get £2 an hour to do waitressing. But I learnt more from that, and how to talk to people. And even like what you've done for Jasper, like Stanley struggled with school. I got him a maths tutor 2 months ago, found her on LinkedIn, love LinkedIn.
Yeah.
She has changed him. He's like so engaged. If I'd have found her sooner, it would have probably been better. Yeah. But it's incredible what kind of showing someone and having belief and letting them crack on.
Getting out there.
Yeah.
Getting out there. So they're the women in construction. So that's the top 100 one. And then you also are part of the Anglia.
Yeah, set that up in October accidentally.
What's that one called?
Women in Construction Anglia.
Got Women in Construction Anglia.
Yeah, CIT. So CIT.
You're doing the awards.
Yeah, that's
separate.
that's for separate. That's CITB. And then Women in Construction Anglia is what I started support with Sue Munley.
There's a big network of companies out in the Anglia world, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's like quite a close, not close knit, but it's like quite collective. Everyone's come together, isn't they? That's why I just that message I said to you this morning. You said, "Oh no, Sam."
Yeah.
And then we're just getting pulled into London all the time, not realising.
Yeah. And I think like East Anglia's got more visibility now, more eyes on it. There's a lot more people from out of town coming into the area because you've got projects like Sizewell. You've got the new hospital in Bury St Edmunds. Yeah. You've got the prison project.
Like the A12 works is going to be kicking off, isn't it?
It's loads, and I think that's why it's key to get the workforce sorted.
Yeah.
For
that's interesting,
the pipeline. But yeah, no, friendly old bunch in East Anglia.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? It reminds me just every time I drive out there, just rugby, again, a rugby weekend. We used to play, our league was, where was it? We were Suffolk, Norfolk and North Essex, I think we kind of covered.
Right.
It'd always be Diss or North Walsham and Lowestoft and Yarmouth, Holt.
Yeah, Holt's lovely.
Yeah, all these kind of places. But then there'd be coach journeys as well, and there'd be like, we'd load up the coach driver. No drinking on the bus, no drinking on the bus. And then we'd be like, everyone would chip in a tenner to the driver, and then you realise he's getting like 150 quid tip.
Blind eye.
200 quid tip, yeah. And he'd be like, have a drink on the bus, have a drink on the bus. Or we'd tip him to stop at every pub on the way home. And then there wasn't many more of those coach trips left in me, that's for sure. But it was.
That's the thing, you kind of get over it, don't you?
Yeah. We went to the Skull Inn once. Do you know where the Skull Inn is?
No.
This or somewhere, I think.
Right.
And we got a phone call the day after from the Skull Inn saying, can you please bring back the whole of our pub? Otherwise we're ringing the police.
No.
Somebody in a very, very official position in Essex. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say whereabouts because it's easily linked. In a very senior position as a respectable person of the community, was the captain of the team and called the guys, when we go into this pub, we need trophies. So anything that's not tied down, everyone come back with something. Everyone, plant pots, birds and pheasants off the wall were taken, and then we actually took the sign, what was about an 8 foot by 4 foot sign, saying the Skull Inn on it.
I hope someone kept that.
Well, that was me and Beanhead of all people.
Was this pre-social media?
The raw plugs fell out, and it come off the wall very easy. It'd been on that wall for a long time, and then the day after, we got a phone call from a club chairman saying, "You sort it out now. The police are going to be involved if it's not done by 12." So we paid one of the minis' dads, like the young lad's dads, who's got a van. Everyone chipped in another tenner.
That must have been the worst anxiety like, can you take ever.
It? Yeah. And we're like, how did they know it was us? Yeah. And so the coach company was written down the side of the coach that you got on, and you all got out in bright red and black blazers. They said it was quite easy.
You'd be a bad criminal, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It was one of many trips. But another one, we were back from the dogs got bigger every time you got to another pub.
Right.
The dog got bigger, and by the end of it was like a big Rottweiler, and it was just like, we're not getting out of here. But there's plenty of stories, not very much for this podcast, but
late night.
But I like the Anglia side of things.
It's really good. And that's the thing, like people that wouldn't necessarily understand what I do, like in the industry, have been really supportive, and I couldn't be thankful enough.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
What else have we got on then? So what is you got the Women in Construction Anglia? Yeah,
we've got an event Wednesday. Kate Kelly is coming down.
Brilliant. There's another one you do as well?
Funny enough, so I've done property drinks, Suffolk and Norfolk. No, Norfolk's Matt. So I do Essex and Suffolk, and I think I might stop them because I don't know, it just doesn't align anymore, and I don't know what people necessarily get out of it.
Yep.
So it's quite interesting whether it's growing up or lifestyle choices or what, I don't know. But
what you learn as well, it all kind of fizzes back to Friel, I suppose, as well, doesn't it? All helps you in the business and do what you do, building your profile.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people have commented, getting yourself everywhere must be good. To be fair, it's probably no. Like if profile versus bank balance don't match, do you know what I mean?
Because you kind of fall in the end.
And I feel like I burn out.
I know from experience myself.
Yeah, you're like, I want to take over the world, and then like today, up all night, Sam being sick, I'm like, I quite like to disappear. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's that thing of
when certain things don't get accepted and someone says, no, we don't want this offer from you. Sometimes you're like, that's why I don't really want it either.
Yeah, and it's like working with good people. Like I'd rather work with decent people and get by than like go against my values. But no, it's been interesting. It's been really interesting. The impact, kind of educating people, getting educated.
Yeah.
I think the key thing is being authentic, putting other people forward. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, is that you see kind of the self-promotion side of things, but giving people a voice that wouldn't necessarily have one, giving them a platform to share their stories is way more important.
Yeah. And I think that's what the industry needs, isn't it? We see a lot of people whose voices aren't being heard and giving them a platform.
It's how do we get to them? And that's the thing that, like, that is the thought that kind of, like one of my events, a company will remain unnamed, they did have women tradies working for them. And a guy from the business came because he wouldn't let the women have time off site.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I get it financially.
Yeah.
But then what do I do? Do I turn up on these sites? No, because I'm only going to hit one person.
Yeah.
Like, how do we reach these people? And that's where social media comes in. But then a lot of people some people aren't even on that. So I'm never going to fix the world, but I'm going to bloody try.
You are right, because we're looking at a few things at the moment, what's in the summer about going and hitting the numbers and getting out and showing it. And this is why the cameras will be with us. But we're like that. So we're thinking, like, what should we do this summer in terms of going out to events and speaking to big companies? I was in a way like, do we go out and just go to the local house housing developer job, which got 5 or 10 workers in there, and just have the crack with them for the day?
Yeah, it's like, do you do toolbox talks? Is that how you reach them?
I'm actually saying no to them now.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
Okay.
And when I was on site talking about my story and going deep on that, I ended up coming off and not sleeping well that night. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, so I said it at the cinema when we done that. I announced it as my kind of retirement from going to do talks. And yesterday I spoke to two main contractors actually, a JV on a project, and said, can you come in and do an event? And I said, well, I can come in and do this. I said, but it cost you. We've got spin bike sessions that we do. So that's coming back out. We've got a few jobs we're going into this year. And I said that we'd have a fixed price, but we'd appreciate if you could look to raise up to a couple of grand with a Just Giving page, and you put it out to suppliers and they chip in.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take 4 of us, 3 of us for a full day out.
Yeah.
With a vehicle, with 2 spin bikes, will both cost £1,000 each as well. Okay, I get it, we use them multiple times, but they still originally cost us the money. I've got a congestion charge to pay. I've got the commute into London, out of London anyway, the fuel charge, everything that comes into going into London, and it's just not worth doing. We've done it 2 years ago, pretty much off the whim of just being a charity being donated to every now and then, and we can't afford that. We haven't got the funds for that.
But it's valuing yourself, like, this is what.
But the company comes back and says, no, we can't afford that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if you want me there for Mental Health and Construction Week, then you could. What do you think? How do you think we're getting paid?
Oh no, but it'd be good for your brand. It'd be a really good room of people. Yeah. That's what you always get, and I think people underestimate. Like, they see all these things that we do, like, what I'm doing for the women's. Like, I'm not getting paid for this. Yeah. If I worked for a corporate, then I'd be on a salary. Yeah. But while I'm doing other stuff, I'm not making money to cover my costs, and that's what same as you. That's what gets me.
Yeah.
It's a whole day out, and it's not even making money. It's covering costs.
Yeah. Red Construction have been very good to us and supporting us at the moment, and then also Keltbray over the last few years. From the start, actually, day one when we done it, Keltbray put a few things our way. And then aside from that, in terms of actually being financially supported by any tier 1 contractor, we've not had a penny. And I've spoken on HS2, Crossrail, so a lot of big jobs in the city, and not one tier 1 has ever put money to say thank you or support us in any way. You know, it's just like, what? But that will change next week. We've got big conversations next week. So
well, it already happened, won't it?
Yeah.
But let's manifest it. But that changed on Monday.
Yeah, and now we're fully funded by every company in the industry.
Yeah, you'll be doing last minute edits.
Yeah, so that's just kind of like the big companies think, because we're a charity, you'll just come in and do it. But it's not how it works, unfortunately.
No.
Well, it does if you're a charity that's funded in another way, but we're just a grassroots one.
But it's like,
maybe we look bigger than we are. That's what it is. Maybe they think.
Yeah, maybe you do. But that is the thing. Yeah. And it's like, I can't remember, we were talking on here or before, saying about it's kind of working backwards. So we've had the impact, and it's now being sustainable, isn't it? So for me, it's kind of great traction early doors, turn it into a not-for-profit.
Yeah.
Need to sustain it. So now I'm putting a structure in place. I've been lucky enough, Suffolk Chamber of Commerce have come on as a partner at Anglian Ruskin University. But at the moment, I feel like I'm begging all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's like for every event, I have to go out and get sponsors. And I'm like, oh God,
yeah,
me again. Hello, can I have some money?
Yeah, exactly what we've done with our membership. 100 Club membership was kind of to do that now. It was £100 a company to be a member. I said, if we can get enough members behind that, we know the likes of the wages and the overheads we've got can be covered each month. And then any fundraising we do additional to that is what we can put back into the system to support people and do what we're doing. So, yeah, we're very much on similar paths that we're trying to just finding. Winging it.
Winging it, yeah. I do often joke that's why I should have called the business Not Friel.
Yeah.
Winging it.
Winging it limited.
What are you doing today? I don't know.
Winging it full time.
Yeah. I've got an addiction to buying website domains.
Have you? Yeah.
Thinking out that would be the one thing that actually makes me a millionaire one day. So I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Has anyone bought that for a penny on GoDaddy? One day.
You do hear these stories, don't you? Someone's got it and then bosh.
Yeah.
What's the one of John Lewis on Twitter? The guy called John. He's got at John Lewis. And at Christmas, everyone just tags in at John Lewis.
That is great.
Yeah, there's someone behind. There's an individual guy. I'm not sure if he's UK or America. I think I'm American typically.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got the one at John Lewis. And
it's such a legend.
He must have been offered some cash for it over the years.
Yeah.
You have that.
And some people, you look at some.
Elon must have just take it off him if he wants.
Yeah, what is it, like a lifetime free spend in John Lewis? Take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friel, does that just operate in the Anglia side, or you operating all over the UK? Can people get in touch with you to see?
All over the UK. So Friel is a full service marketing and PR agency. So we've got the guys, we've got 2 journalists work for us. We've got account managers, we've got people that do the social media side of things.
Yep.
So predominantly we're construction and charity sector.
Yep.
So yeah, we do a lot of work in that space. And then the business development is just me. So I pick and choose who I'm working on that one. And then Construction Anglia is a free resource. I got annoyed before COVID, 2020, just before COVID hit, because there's so much good news in the industry or just news in general.
Yeah.
I'd send it to the local paper. They'd be like, it's not news. I was like, right, okay, well, I'll start my own site. So that's free to access. People can send in press releases. We'll post it. I do need to figure out a way of getting that to pay for itself. But if people don't have the resource to write the stuff, they can ring us and we'll write it for them, and that's chargeable.
Yeah.
And then Women in Construction Anglia event next week, and I've had a community hub built, which is like LinkedIn, but just women in construction. So it means the students can then chat outside of the events to people.
Yeah.
And then hopefully I don't have any more ideas.
Yeah. That'd be good. Katie's going along from our industry.
Katie is going, and then
Mrs. Kelleher's there as well.
And then Sue Munley, don't know if you've met her before.
No. Yeah.
She's come along. So yeah, it's 80 people. We've had events. The one before Christmas was 200. I think our last one was about 150, 200. Mm-hmm. And this one's 80.
Amazing. Yeah.
So yeah, but it's not.
Katie's saying a few bits, isn't she?
Yeah, she's keynote speaker. I think that's.
Keynote Katie.
Keynote Katie. I think that's what. She's like, "What am I doing?" I'm like,
there's Ross rocking the CPA here as well for her. Look at
there
this,
you go, on brand.
Yeah, we're just Katie's biggest fans.
But yeah, she's coming down, so that'll be really good. And then the team from All Female Design and Build, we're doing a project to try and see if they can source it with only female to show the gap. In the industry.
They? Yeah. Where is that project?
Suffolk, just outside Ipswich.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, decent.
So yeah, it's not like, again, it's not a man-hating, bra-burning fest.
Yeah.
It's just to show where the gaps are.
It can be done.
Yeah, and it or it can't.
Or it can't. Yeah, that's true. So everything on that site has got to be.
I think they've had someone come from Wales, someone moved down from somewhere else, which just shows how sparse the labour is.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And are you seeing a lot of labour go to Sizewell, local people, or is there a lot of Sizewell stuff?
A lot of people going to Sizewell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people coming in from out of area to set up shop down in Suffolk.
Yes.
Based on the work, but that's why we can't complain if it's going elsewhere, if we haven't got the skills. But then what's happening is people come down and are taking labour from local companies to deliver. So it's a hard one.
This is what I wasn't too big a fan on in terms of some of these jobs. Is like they've got their fixed companies that they support. Costain announced it last year, and I put it on TikTok, and it went quite lively. But they said we're only now working with 2 or 3 companies across the whole country on labour supply. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, that's great in hindsight, but the reality of that is these projects will pop up in a place, say Sizewell, and little Dave and his resource team that he's got are just going to be eaten up because all his staff are going to go over to the big company that's supplying. So that's supporting local business, just destroys local business, isn't it? Because the big fish get it. But
it's been interesting because I've not been involved in Sizewell, but working in construction, not on the tools, and kind of having Visible and been going on for a long time. I've watched kind of all the work they've put into it, and they've put together supply chains and supply chain partners and tendering process, and kind of got local companies ready to tender.
Okay, yeah.
So they've done it the right way, local jobs for local people, all that jazz. But ultimately, all the people aren't going to be sat around here.
No.
And some companies might not be robust enough, and that's why they've kind of gone down the route of doing like is it consortium the right word? Whatever it is, where they get a group. So say ground workers, for example. Yeah. If the smaller ones that wouldn't be able to do a job individually, getting them around a table to see if there's something they can do together.
Oh, well, that's good, isn't it?
So they have been doing some of that, and hats off to them. But then you've got Hinkley. So if someone's done the job in Hinkley, done it well. Yeah. And even I'm guilty of it. IBD for an amazing company plug, London Diamond Drilling.
Diamond Drilling.
And they've come down, they set up a new market. I'm helping them get work. Cambridge, surrounding everywhere, and Sizewell's one of them. Yeah. But they're kind of putting the jobs to local people. They've got me on board. I'm local. Yep. I've got 6 fingers on one of my hands. So it's about doing the right thing for the right reasons.
Yeah. Amazing stuff. So
are we going to talk about? I'm going to take over your podcast. 8th of May. Will this go out in time for people to walk around London with us?
Oh yeah, the trek. Yeah, this goes out next week. We should plug our own event, shouldn't we? But
Cheers, Claire.
That's why we've got a PR marketing team with us.
Yes,
the trek. Have you ever walked a marathon before?
No.
See, we just.
Well, I might have done when I'm drunk one night back in the day walking home.
Yeah, so we're walking a marathon. We start at Liverpool Street Station. We meet at 6:30. I'll be outside McDonald's with a breakfast bap in my hand.
Still from the night before.
On the bench, half a kip. And then we will set off from there and we walk down to the embankment. We walk along the embankment. We walk up to Trafalgar Square. And then we hook a left and we walk down to Buckingham Palace. And we walk round over the top.
Pick up Charlie.
Yeah. Go past, swing a right past Buckingham Palace and walk to Kensington. And then from Kensington, we head to Richmond. And then Richmond, we hit Richmond Park, and then we hit the river, and come back to Putney.
It's a triathlon, is it?
Yeah. We should do it. It is possible. And then bring your bike, and then we go from Putney all the way into the river, the Putney Bridge, and then we literally hug the river all the way back to Tower of London. Mm-hmm. And it's due to be good weather as well. I think again we only have good weather.
And people can sign up via your website. So
they can sign up via the website. A little £20 donation in the pot all helps, and then they can sign up.
I forgot to do mine. I'm doing it. I will send over my 20 quid.
We always say it's not that these ones aren't a big fundraising effort for us. It's just literally say let's just go and do something, because we've done 3 of them last year and they were awesome. Like, it was such a good crack.
It's such a simple concept with so much impact.
Yeah.
And it's that, Yeah,
it is. It's, we've done one a few weeks ago, Phoenix Mechanical Electrical, because they wanted to do one just for their own team, which was really cool. But they had 10 different projects they work across, and we visited them all. And they had members of staff from all of them come together, and they literally couldn't understand why they. A lot of them said that we've been working for the same company for 10 years, never met each other.
Yeah, it's wild.
And then they come on this, and suddenly they're all chewing the fat and realising they're not on their own with the stresses of day-to-day life. And the walk you got our mate Jeff, Cycling Jeff,
does he like
the board
green?
recruiter? Yeah, he's racing green.
Does he like racing green?
So he's been on the walk, and he says that some of his best conversations in construction have been on our walks. Like genuinely just talking with people. Yeah. But I think there is a science behind it. I don't know what it's called or what the philosophy of it is, but when you're walking side by side with someone and you're both looking ahead, you open up more and you have more open conversations because you're not looking directly at each other like the podcast.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. And then we do, and it takes us, we start at 6:30 and we don't normally get back till 4:30, 5, and we stop for a few refreshments on the way back. A couple of shandies here and there, a few waters and a few Lucasades along the way.
Broadgate Circle.
And then, and then we, but yeah, it's normally good. Chelsea, one of the second establishments we turn up in, don't walk in the front of that one. A bit of advice.
Okay.
It's the Chelsea Harbour. It's right by Chelsea. It's in Chelsea. There's a big bar there on the pub front, and it's about 20 quid a pint. So whoever's got the most established business in the group of us, we let them take
Water's all round.
Whoever's going, this drink is sponsored by, and whoever's at the front, we let them take it.
Yeah, like that. I will hang back on that one.
There's a Wetherspoons just around the corner.
That's what's the spoons at Hamilton Hall.
yeah. So,
but I looked last night, actually, to be fair, and the first train in from Ipswich gets in bang on 6:30.
Does it? Cool.
Yeah.
That's normally how we've done it, actually, isn't it, in the past, actually, because people come from all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get there. We used to rush to get out of it early, but we realise now it's not too possible. But and we walk, and then we stop at 11 o'clock for a bite to eat, and then what do we do for lunch?
We always just end up like sort yourself out, snacking from fuel garages, sandwiches,
keep them going. So we love them. I think there must be about 15 odd people, 15 to 20 people so far.
So what are we aiming for? Right, so by the time this goes out next week, I want 100 people signed up.
You're going to go for it?
Yeah.
Going heavy?
Yeah. We'll get 100 people signed up.
That'd be amazing if we could. We've only the most we've ever had was 52.
Okay.
That was on the overnight one.
I see 52 and I laugh at it.
So we had 52 people on it, and that was started at midnight at Twickenham Stadium.
Why did I want to?
And we walked through the night along the river. It was a marathon, and we finished at UK Construction Week.
Nice.
And then the BBC filmed it all as well, and it went out on the documentary that we done on BBC a few years ago. So that was cool.
I think overnight stuff is pretty cool. They do something in Ireland where my family is, where it's like walking into the sunrise.
Yeah.
And they go up the mountain and
Yeah. So now looking back as well, the big walk through London at that time, a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
I have to do that round Suffolk. So
country lanes.
There is one I want to do, Saltmarsh 75. It's called, but it's Saltmarsh 50. A 50-mile walk you can do from pretty much not far from here on the river, Blackwater, pretty much.
I saw one up at
Southwood all the way around, Burnham, Bradwell Power Station, and then you finish at Malden. So it's just along on the outside, the seafront, basically.
I saw one, you love Aldeburgh.
Aldeburgh,
Aldeburgh.
Yeah, so was you there last week?
No, I was over on your arm. I can't even, I'm even on my bike yet. But there's a walk up there where you could do like North Norfolk all the way down.
Is there?
For a slot.
Yeah, Aldeburgh's amazing. We love it.
I haven't graduated yet. See, I went from Magaluf to Benidorm, and I'm trying to go from Felixstowe to Aldeburgh to graduate. Bit posh for me.
It is, isn't it? Oh, you can't believe it. You can come off. It doesn't seem anything as posh as that. And you get down there. I'm definitely not posh, but you get down. There's red chinos everywhere, and the people cool drawers and but they're the rich people that they need a wash as well. That them kind of rich people.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And then mate Ed Sheeran.
Oh yeah, Ed.
Met him there last year.
Oh my god.
Met him on the beach.
So when we were doing the cycle ride, I was trying to get Ed to meet us at Framlingham. So I had the contact when I got back because I was devastated. It was in my drafts.
So we go back. We go back.
Yeah, next year.
That's quite cool, Framlingham Castle, wasn't it? I didn't realise how impressive that was.
Yeah, well, I'd never been down that side of it and seen it from that angle.
Yeah.
But that's the beautiful thing about the cycle rides, like all the stuff we saw.
That's the castle on the hill, wasn't it?
Literally the castle on the hill.
Yeah.
All the stuff we saw, like you're in the fucking nowhere, and then you're in like Cambridge and all the journey along the way.
Yeah, talk about that was cool, wasn't it? I keep saying to people, I can't believe there's country lanes from Somerset to Suffolk.
And that's why my uneducated bike purchase. Because I think the woman obviously had heard I'm an athlete, so give me a really fancy road bike. But now I didn't realise you can't. They're not really. Money.
Ladies on the cycle to work scheme, we'll have her over.
I know. She was so, honestly, to be fair, Joe, she was amazing. But it's kind of, I don't think they're great for off-roading.
Gotcha.
Here comes my second bike.
I've still got a bike I borrowed from mate. 2 years ago I borrowed it off him and just haven't given it back yet. I'll give it back now. He doesn't want it. He's 20 odd stone front row rugby player and there's no interest in cycling. So he's like,
have you seen that?
It was a COVID purchase as well from him. And he was like,
Do you know what we found in the garage? We were clearing it out, a hot tub. Do you remember? Not like a physical big one, like the
black ones.
Yeah,
like
and they were like, got that past the gold dust thing. And Liam was like, put it on Gumtree.
Yeah, I got one about 6 months before COVID. And then literally the price of them just rocketed.
Oh, it was mental.
Like, happy days. Yeah.
Madness.
That was nice, that start of COVID.
I miss COVID, not for the illness side of things, but just the peace. And I think there was an element of that with the weather.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they said, right, you're locked in? The weather turned into what it was when we did the bike ride.
Yeah.
And it like the weather for the bike ride.
Yeah.
We couldn't have paid for that.
Oh, it was unbelievable, wasn't it? Well, I kicked the because all the tops come long sleeve and we thought it was going to be short sleeve. I was like, oh no. And it turns out, Sammy Murch, fair play. it was the right choice because it was a little chill in the mornings, wasn't there? But it was gorgeous, wasn't it?
Oh my God.
I think we had blue sky that chill the way, didn't we? A few clouds here and there.
I mean, I've got a really nice tan line to accentuate the bump in my nose now. So it's like the 3D makeup.
Who did you
contouring that you didn't need.
Any highlights of the bike ride? Any moments? Any people you found funnier than me?
No, do you know what? Everyone was sound.
Yeah.
Everyone was sound.
Cracking it.
Yeah.
Entertainment.
Yeah, you couldn't have because I think Nia was definitely more worried about me.
Yeah.
Than I was worried about doing it, and she kind of come along because she was like worried about the mileage, me not knowing anyone, all of the above. But no, even John.
Yeah.
Scouse John off the bus.
Yeah. Oh, what a guy, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, and wee Bob.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that was that was just great.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a lovely relationship seeing it as well, wasn't it?
And like
smitten with each other, weren't they?
Yeah, the special memories that they'll have from. So it's not just the people that did the ride; it's the stuff from the peripheral.
Yeah. We got donated 2 £5 notes by someone on the street, so we gave it to Bob as his wages.
I gave him 20 quid. He was doing all right, wasn't he?
He said to us, he's skinny. He's not got no money, and he was giving 20. And he just
I was like, there you go. There's your wages.
Yeah. There's the Scousers.
But even that, and then the next guy that did it, just the whole peripheral community.
And I've always said this. I try and get the point across to people. Like, if you can't take part and you want to just be part of the team, come and be a support in any way. Because the people in the support have just as much fun and love it just as much.
I think Nia was struggling with. She gets really car sick and the internet, and she was. I know uni assignment was due in, but she smashed it. Bless her.
Oh, did she? Fair play.
Yeah, she didn't like my cleanliness though, because I was like, we get in, I wouldn't have a shower. She's like, you can have a shower. I'm like, no, I'll do it in the morning. She's like, you're disgusting. She rang Leon and she was like, how do you live with her?
You're going to sleep next to Ross. Jesus Christ. I was literally checking my bed every 20 minutes to see who it was next to me because the noises changed every 20 minutes. And like this big 18-stone rugby playing veteran military man.
Looks like a Buzz Lightyear vibe.
Yeah, he has, doesn't he? Yeah, definitely. And he's there in bed going, and then literally 2 minutes later, it's honestly Beauty and the Beast all in one in the bedtime. God. So
maybe that's a podcast. Maybe just record him sleeping.
Yeah. If you was on Big Brother back in the day when they had a 24-hour channel, you just watched him. Yeah, 100%. But it was such a good crack. But we stayed up a little bit later, but we both went to bed early with everyone on the first night.
It's kebab night, wasn't it, in Bicester?
Oh yeah, the kebab, that was the answer. So but the first night when we went to bed like 10 hours sleeping, I was up at 4, just like tuning, and so was Ross. We both sitting there and was awake. I was like, I can't go to bed at 9 o'clock at night after this. So we stayed up a little bit later each night and had a few more shandies. But then we could get a solid 6 hours in. I thought they're perfect.
I was just wired. When I get back, I was like this. No, I couldn't sleep.
It was good.
Adrenaline,
Yeah, so good crack. And then, what was there? Bicester, that was good crack. Yeah, the kebab shop was entertaining.
What was it? Yeah.
With the Irish community.
Bicester.
Yeah, Cambridge, the Cambridge food. The food at Cambridge.
Oh, that was a curveball. I was like, more stodge. I was like, we had so Thai, much. We had Italian, we had Indian,
chicken wings.
The wings were a bit
burgers.
Apart from that, it was all great.
Yeah, no, amazing stuff. Well, thanks a million because you smashed the fundraising. I'm hugely thankful for.
No, thank you.
I really appreciate everything you've done to help push us, and this is just the beginning.
Oh, it is.
We'll be supporting you at the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking to JJ.
Velodrome.
And he's about doing the networking thing.
Yep.
And he was saying, obviously, we're both on Team GB.
Yeah.
And if I don't get picked, I'll go for my Irish roots. Actually, I'll have to go Team Ireland first. Otherwise, Mum and Dad will probably disown me.
Yeah. So JJ, good crack, though.
Yeah, nice. What a laugh.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Happy days. Claire, thank you for coming down. Thank you for coming in. And there's a short notice in this yesterday, wasn't it? Actually, can you come in tomorrow?
Yeah, and I was like, I've got one at home with man flu. I've got one at home with after an operation. I was like, yes, I can come in.
Give escaping.
Yeah.
No, you're a diamond. Thanks for everything.
No, thank you
for the awards that you've got as part of.
No, thank you. Anything. And that's the thing.
In such a short
good
space
people
of time.
support good people.
Yes. No, and anything we can do in return, please let us know.
Can look after the boys today.
Come to the cycling club.
Yeah, cycling friends.
Cycling friends.
Oh, cleats.
I'm going to get my bike out again soon. I'm not going to wait 2 years this time.
Yeah, I'm going to get mine out and learn to ride it this afternoon. Woo!
Hey, click. Get in.
Yeah. No, it's more out, isn't it?
Yeah, you just got to click the ankle. My right one hurts, actually. But happy days.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.